Welcome back to our weekly exploration, where we take a pile of interesting sources, articles, research, travel blogs, and we break them down into the most useful bits of information just for you.
Today, we are ready to take a trip. And not just any trip, but a really educational one. We're looking into the world of international travel and how it can really boost your English skills.
I love this topic, I really do, because travel is not just a hobby,
Yeah,
it's one of the best classrooms on the planet.
it really is.
Think about it for a second. Have you ever been in a new city, maybe standing in a cafe in London or Rome, and you just want to order a coffee, but suddenly you can't remember the simple word for, say, takeaway or to go?
Oh, that moment of panic. It's so real. You know all the complex grammar in your head, but the one simple practical word you need just disappears.
Exactly. And that little moment of pressure, that's what we're talking about today. That's what makes you learn so much faster. So we want to help you feel ready for those moments.
Confident,
Yeah.
capable, and, ready to explore. Our mission today is pretty simple. We're going to explore why travel is such a powerful learning tool. Then we'll give you a simple 5-step guide on how to plan your trip. And we'll share some really fun travel stories that teach us great new English words.
And because we know you're all working hard on your English, we promise to keep the language simple, really clear, and focused on words you can actually use.
hmm
Think of us as your travel guides who also happen to be language nerds.
Let's get started with that first big question then. Why is travel so important? Especially for someone who's learning English.
Okay, let's unpack this. Our sources really emphasize that the benefits of travel aren't just about having a fun vacation. It's about changing how you see the world and yourself.
Right. And the first major benefit is huge. It's about learning about other ways of life, learning about culture.
When you go somewhere new, you're immediately seeing different ways of living, the food people eat, how they greet each other.
Even the small things, like when they eat dinner. For instance, if you visit Italy, you might notice people eat dinner really late, maybe 8 or 9 p.m.
Yeah.
But if you go to, say, Sweden, dinner might be at 6 p.m. Neither is right or wrong. It's just part of their culture. And culture is just all those ideas and traditions that belong to a group of people.
And seeing all those differences is what makes you open-minded.
Exactly. To be open-minded means you're willing to try new things and accept that there are different ways of doing things. Our sources show that when we travel, we see that people all over the world live good, happy lives in many different ways.
It changes your perspective completely. It's like living in a house with only one window, and then suddenly you travel and you discover there are windows on all four sides, each with a totally different view.
That's a great way to put it. You're getting new views on the world. And this also connects you to the past. When you explore a new place, you connect with history. You can read about ancient Greece in a book, but standing at the Acropolis in Athens, you can almost feel the history around you.
That moment is so powerful. And it's not just about ancient history, it's also about today. You can see how different countries are handling modern challenges like public transport or recycling. You just can't get that from a textbook.
And this brings us right to the second benefit, which is probably the most important one for you, our listener. Practicing English in real life.
This is where the magic happens. When you're traveling, English is often the bridge language. In airports, in hotels, in big tourist areas.
You have to use it
Yeah.
actively, not just reading from a book. You're listening, you're speaking,
Oh.
maybe you're buying a train ticket or asking another traveler where they got that amazing looking sandwich.
Our sources pointed to something really interesting about this. They mentioned studies that showed learners who just spend 15 minutes asking locals for directions learn those direction words much faster.
Much faster than people who only practice in a classroom. That's right. It's because your brain connects the word to a real experience, a real need, like I need to find the train station before it gets dark. That's called contextual learning. It makes the memory so much stronger.
And you have to listen to different accents, right? The English in a classroom is often very slow and perfect.
Hmm.
But real-life English from a busy shopkeeper with a local accent, that's a real test for your ears. It makes your listening skills so much better.
And every time you succeed, Every time you get the right coffee or find the right bus, your confidence grows. Which leads us straight to benefit number 3, personal growth and resilience.
Travel is an adventure. And, well, adventures always have a few problems, don't they? Maybe your train is canceled or you get a little bit lost.
hmm And when those things happen, you have to find a solution. You can't just call your teacher for help. You have to communicate, think on your feet, and figure it out. That process makes you so much stronger. It makes you resilient.
Resilient is such a good word. It means you can recover quickly from a tough situation. You don't panic. You find a way forward.
Think about missing the last bus back to your hotel. A resilient traveler doesn't just give up. They go to the information desk and they say clearly in English, "Excuse me, I missed the last bus. Is there another way to get to the city center?"
You turn a problem into a chance to practice.
Exactly. And those small wins, figuring out a subway map, successfully ordering a meal, they build this incredible feeling of self-reliance. You
Mhm.
start to think, hey, I can handle this. I can solve problems on my own, far from home.
Plus, there's just the pure joy of it all, seeing beautiful mountains or beaches, and of course, the
The
food.
food, trying local dishes is like exploring a new place with your mouth.
So, to wrap this section up, travel makes you open-minded by showing you new cultures. It gives you the best kind of English practice, and it makes you more resilient.
Notice how we use those words in our conversation. That's what you should aim for. Not just memorizing definitions, but using them to express your own ideas.
Okay, so now that we know why we should travel, let's talk about how to do it. Let's move on to planning your journey.
Let's do it.
Planning your first big trip can feel huge. Like you have a puzzle with 1,000 pieces and you don't know where to start.
But our sources break it down into 5 really clear, simple steps. Step 1 is the most basic. Choose your destination.
This sounds so obvious, but you really have to think about it. Are you visiting one big city, like New York? Or do you want to travel across a whole country, maybe backpacking through Vietnam?
And you need to think about the kind of experience you want. Are you looking for relaxation on the beach? Or do you want the excitement of exploring a busy city?
Right. And you need to match that with the time of year. If you want a sunny beach vacation, maybe don't go to Scotland in November. You have to consider the climate.
This is where you need words like budget, how much money you can spend,
Hmm?
and season. If you go during the peak season, the busiest time, it's more expensive. If you go in the off-season, you can save money.
Okay, so once you know where and when you're going, it's time for step 2. Booking essential needs. That means your tickets and your accommodation.
Let's break that down. First, tickets. These could be for a flight, a train, or a bus. You'll probably use a website to book them. And you'll see words like layover, which is the time you wait between 2 flights.
And cancellation policy. That's a really important one. It tells you the rules for getting your money back if your plans change.
Then there's accommodation. That's just a word for the place where you'll stay. It could be a hotel, which is more expensive, or a budget-friendly hostel.
Or maybe a bed and breakfast, a B&B. That's usually a room in someone's house.
Your choice changes the words you need to know. In a hostel, you might ask for a dorm room, which is a shared room, and a locker for your things. In a hotel, you might ask about room service.
And our sources say you should always read the reviews online. Look for adjectives like convenient for the location or helpful for the staff or clean for the room.
Yes. And before you book anything, the most important step, check your paperwork.
Oh, this is so critical.
You need to know if you need a visa. A visa is an official permission to enter a country. The visa application uses words like application form and expiration date. You have to get this done long before your trip.
Okay, paperwork is done. Now for step 3, smart packing.
Everyone gets this wrong the first time. We always pack too much.
Always. The golden rule is pack light. I like this analogy. Pack your bag like you have to carry it up 5 flights of stairs every single day. That helps you decide what's essential.
That's a good one. A great way to do that is to pack clothes that you can mix and match. You know, a few shirts to go with the same pair of pants.
Yeah.
And definitely comfortable shoes.
Your list should start with the essentials. Your passport, your money, your tickets, any medicine you need. And these things should always stay with you in your carry-on bag.
Right. Never in the big suitcase that you check in. And here's a key tip. Make a photocopy of your passport. Keep that copy in a different bag. If you lose the original, the copy makes getting help so much easier.
Okay, step 4, creating a simple itinerary. An itinerary is just your plan for the trip.
But this doesn't mean planning every single second of your day. It's more of a rough idea. Like Monday, arrive, check into the hotel, walk around the neighborhood. Tuesday, visit the main museum.
It gives you some structure, but you need to leave free time. Our sources call this buffer time, time for resting, or just getting a little lost and discovering something cool.
Spontaneous moments are often the best part of a trip. And while you're planning, look up some local transport words. Do they have a subway or a metro? Do people use trams? Knowing those words will save you so much confusion when you arrive.
And finally, the most important step of all, step 5, safety first.
Absolutely. Tell someone at home, a friend or family member, your plan, where you're staying, your flight numbers, just so someone knows where you are.
And you must get travel insurance. You need to understand phrases like coverage, what the insurance pays for, and emergency medical assistance. It's your safety net.
And one last thing, know the local emergency number. In the U.S., it's 911. In most of Europe, it's 112. Just look it up before you go.
Wow, breaking it down like that makes it feel so much more manageable.
It does. And we've learned 3 more great words. Destination, the place you're going. Accommodation, where you stay. And pack, putting things in your bag.
All right, now for the really fun part. We're going to look at some travel stories from our sources to see how English can bring a place to life.
Let's start with a classic story about visiting Paris, France, the City of Light.
The first thing they talked about, of course, was the Eiffel Tower. It's an iconic landmark. Iconic just means it's so famous, everyone in the world recognizes it.
Right. And they described it as an elegant iron structure, soaring over 300 meters high. The traveler wrote that the view from the top was absolutely breathtaking.
Breathtaking, that's such a great word. It means something is so beautiful it almost stops your breathing for a second. It's much stronger than just saying, nice view.
They also went to the Louvre Museum to see the Mona Lisa. And they explored the architecture, like the Notre Dame Cathedral. They described it as a perfect example of Gothic architecture.
Gothic architecture, what's a simple way to explain that?
Think of buildings that are really tall, with pointed arches and big detailed windows. It's very dramatic. Words you could use are majestic or historic.
The sources also mentioned that the cathedral was under restoration because of the fire. Restoration is the process of fixing something old and damaged to make it look like it did originally.
And now, the food. This is where you learn some amazing words for taste and texture.
They talked about eating croissants for breakfast that were buttery and flaky. Flaky means something breaks into thin, light pieces when you eat it.
Perfect word for a croissant. And for dinner, they tried some more adventurous things, like escargot, which are cooked snails. They describe them as rich and savory. And coq au vin, which is a chicken stew, they called it a hearty meal. Hearty means it's very filling and satisfying.
The story also had this really nice human moment. The traveler had a conversation with a street artist. They used simple English to ask questions like, how much is this sketch? Or, do you take credit cards?
And that simple conversation led to a connection. The artist gave them a small sketch as a souvenir, a little something to remember the trip.
So the big lesson from Paris is to use those strong, descriptive words. Iconic, breathtaking, flaky, hearty.
Exactly. Now let's switch gears completely and go to Kyoto, Japan. This story uses a totally different kind of vocabulary. It's all about calm and peace.
The word that came up again and again in the sources for Kyoto was serenity.
Yes, serenity is a state of being totally calm and peaceful. It's the perfect word for the Fushimi Inari Shrine.
Oh, the one with all the red gates?
That's the one. Thousands of red torii gates that make a long tunnel up a mountain. The traveler described walking through it as a meditative experience. Meditative means it helps you clear your mind and feel calm.
I can imagine. And they also visited the Kinkakuji, the Golden Pavilion. It's a temple that's actually covered in real gold.
And it reflects perfectly in the water of the pond in front of it. It's an amazing, beautiful sight.
Another thing they experienced was a traditional tea ceremony. This is way more than just drinking tea, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's a very formal, quiet ritual for preparing and drinking matcha green tea. It teaches you words related to being careful and precise, like deliberate movements and attentiveness.
And the food in Kyoto was different too. They talked about a special meal called a kaiseki dinner.
A kaiseki dinner is a traditional multi-course meal. Every dish is like a little piece of art. It's all about beautiful presentation and fresh seasonal ingredients. You'd use words like delicate, artful, or seasonal to describe it.
So if Paris was about energy and history, Kyoto taught us words about peace and quiet, serenity, meditative, tranquil, delicate.
You see how using the right words can completely change how you describe a place. It's about painting a picture with your language.
I love that. Okay, so now let's make sure everyone is ready for their own trip. Let's move on to some essential tips for travelers.
Okay, so based on all our sources, what are the most important practical tips for staying safe and having a smooth trip?
We've got 6 key tips here. These are things to do when you're already there at your destination. Tip 1, always carry a map.
Yes. And it could be a paper map, which never loses its battery, or a map you've downloaded to your phone. A map is a drawing of an area that shows you streets and important places, or landmarks.
Even if you have GPS on your phone, you might lose the signal. Knowing how to use a map to find your way back to your hotel is a really important skill.
Mm-hmm. Tip 2, learn basic local language.
We're here to practice English, of course, but if you're traveling in a country where English isn't the first language, like Germany, learning a few German words shows respect.
Just simple things. Hello, please, thank you. People are always more willing to help you if you make a little effort in their own language. It just starts the conversation in a friendly way.
It shows you respect their culture.
Okay, tip 3, keep valuables safe.
Your valuables are your important things. Your money, your passport, your phone. Never, ever leave them where someone could take them.
The best advice is to keep them close to your body. Maybe in a small bag you wear across your chest, especially in crowded places like train stations. And this is where we repeat that tip from earlier. Keep a copy of your passport somewhere else. If your bag with the original passport gets stolen, that copy will be a lifesaver.
Good reminder. Tip 4, be aware and trust your gut.
When you're out exploring, pay attention. Don't just walk around staring at your phone, especially in an area you don't know.
Being aware just means noticing what's happening around you. And if a place or a person makes you feel uncomfortable, that's your gut feeling, just leave. Your safety is always the most important thing.
Tip 5, health and hydration.
This one is so simple but so important. Drink lots of water. Carry a water bottle with you. Traveling usually means a lot more walking than you're used to.
Right, and you should know a few basic English phrases for health, like, I have a headache, or I need a bandage.
And our final tip, number 6, embrace flexibility.
Plans always change. A museum is closed, a train is late. It happens.
The happiest travelers are the ones who can just go with the flow, the ones who say, okay, that plan didn't work, let's try something new. Sometimes the best things happen when your plans fall apart.
It's all part of the adventure. And those tips give us 3 more great vocabulary words for travel. Map, local language, and valuables.
Okay, let's put all of this into practice. It's time for our interactive role play.
This is one of the first and most common conversations you will have checking into your accommodation. So I'll be the guest, Mr. Adam Smith.
And I'll be the hotel receptionist. We'll go slowly so you can follow along. Ready?
Ready.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Grand Central Hotel. How can I help you?
Good evening. I have a reservation. The name is Adam Smith.
Okay, Mr. Smith, let me just check the system. Ah, yes, here you are. A single room for 4 nights. Checking out on Friday morning, is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Wonderful. Can I see your passport, please? And the credit card you booked with?
Of course. Here they are.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. Everything looks perfect. Just a moment while I get your key card ready for you.
Great. While you're doing that, I have a quick question. I asked for a quiet room, if that's possible.
Of course. Well, let me see. Yes, I have put you in a room at the back of the hotel facing the courtyard. It's much quieter there.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Okay, here is your room key. You're in room 315 on the third floor. The elevators are just down the hall to your left.
Okay, great. I can manage my own bags, thank you.
All right. Do you have any other questions before you go up?
Yes, just a couple of things. First, what time is breakfast served?
Breakfast is from 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. in the dining room on the ground floor.
Perfect. And where's the nearest ATM? I need to get some cash.
There's an ATM just outside, around the corner on the main street. It's only about a 2-minute walk.
Excellent. And last question, is there Wi-Fi?
Yes, of course. The network is Grand Guest, and the password is on a little card in your room.
Fantastic. You've been very helpful. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Smith. Enjoy your stay.
Okay, that was great. That conversation covered all the basics. Let's just review the most important phrases you need to know.
For the guest, the most important phrase is, I have a reservation under the name. It gets the conversation started perfectly.
And for the receptionist, asking for ID is key. Could I see your passport, please? Using could I is very polite.
The most important questions you'll ask are about time and location. What time is breakfast served?
And for practical things, where is the nearest ATM?
And remember, if you don't understand, it's always okay to ask. Could you please repeat that more slowly? That is such a useful phrase.
It really is. Practice these phrases at home. Say them out loud. Building confidence starts with mastering these simple, real-life conversations.
Wow, we covered so much today, from the big ideas about why we travel to the tiny details of checking into a hotel.
Let's do a quick review of the most essential takeaways from today.
We learned that travel is so important for your personal growth. It teaches you about culture, makes you more open-minded, and builds your resilience.
We talked about the key planning steps. Choose your destination, book your accommodation, and always pack light. And remember to keep your valuables safe.
And we learned some beautiful descriptive words from our travel stories, like the breathtaking views in Paris or the feeling of serenity in Kyoto.
Okay, let's go over our final vocabulary words one last time to really lock them in.
Culture. The ideas and traditions of a place.
Explore. To travel around and discover new places.
Destination. The place you are going to.
Pack. To put things in a bag for a trip.
Valuables. Important items like money and your passport.
And serenity. A state of being calm and peaceful.
Try to use one of these words this week. Maybe tell a friend about your dream destination you want to explore.
And here's one final thought for you to think about. Travel isn't really about the places you see. It's about the person you become when you have to solve a problem in a new language, all on your own, far from home. That confidence you build, that's the real souvenir you bring back.
That's the most valuable lesson of all. Okay, it's time for our call to action.
We really want to hear from you.
What is the one word or lesson you learned today that you are most excited to use on your next journey? Write it in the comments below. Let us know which word you're adding to your travel vocabulary.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Keep practicing, keep exploring, and we wish you many, many happy travels.
Bye for